You know where who's really suffering? I noticed recently is India. India is having a
Yeah,
very difficult time.
they have poor sanitation also, so that doesn't really help.
Yeah, actually, one of my the guys who follows the channel, he thought he had SARS, but it turns out he got typhoid or typhus.
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's there's too many people in India, and it's the sanitation is very it's not up to par, So it's
Yeah,
yeah,
my
they're
Indian friends,
struggling a lot.
go there, they get sick for a week every time they go to India. My own Indian
Yeah,
friends. Yeah.
I went to India one time also, and for a week, and I got horribly sick.
Really?
It's yeah when I got back.
I always wanted to go there, actually. To me, this is one of the countries I most want to visit. I
Mhm.
read about Indian history a lot. And
I would like to see it, but I'd probably bring canned tuna with me just to eat and eat canned tuna only.
the problem is I
Sorry,
like Indian food, so I want to try it, but I think it's risky.
it's great food, but I'm just scared of the sanitation, And I traveled for a year. My digestion is already ruined from traveling and eating street food for a whole year. I don't want to make it any worse. And I've
Yeah.
heard some horror stories of people that went there and you had to do a stool transplant.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah,
Really. I don't,
yeah.
actually, you know what another country is like that is Ethiopia. I had, when I was
All
working
right,
in
yeah.
private equity, my boss went to Ethiopia once and he
Hmm.
had it was for a business meeting. And the same day he
Hmm.
arrived there, he had some kind of meal. We like Ethiopian food, actually. So he was excited.
Hmm.
He ate the meal. He had
Yeah.
such a bad stomach, whatever happened to him, that he flew out the same night. He refused to go to their hospital because he was concerned so much. But that's another country I want to visit one day.
Yeah, it's a lot. The funny thing is, all the countries that are very fun to visit, right, and a little bit off the beaten path. It's food is always a bit of an issue. Sanitation, and food poisoning is it's a reality of it. I've had it many times when I was traveling, but I haven't had it for over 5 years now since I've been in Thailand because I cook all my own meals and I only go to the restaurants which have closed kitchens and practice Scrum and sanitation practices. But the street food, no, it's no thanks.
Now,
I'm
do you
over it.
eat Thai food? Do you like Thai food also?
No.
It's not your thing.
None. I used to like it, but I'm not anymore because I associate Thai food with stomach issues. Yeah, sorry, but every time I eat it, I get horrible, and they make it so spicy that it's almost offensive. You have
Now,
a bite, and it's like some Thai guy's repeatedly punching you in the mouth. That's how spicy it is. So it tastes great, and it's great food, and it's a lot of fun eating with a group of Thai people. But it's the food poisoning and the spiciness turns me off a little bit.
okay, I have a couple of comments there. First thing is odd observation I noticed. You were
Yeah,
blonde when you were a kid, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I noticed something my whole life. I actually have
Mm-hmm.
a brother who was also blonde when he was a child because I'm half
Mm-hmm.
white American. So my brother was
Yeah.
blonde when he was a kid. My brother could never tolerate spiciness, and I observed this as a child, and then
Mm-hmm.
throughout my life, all the blonde people I know are the most sensitive to spiciness, and I
Yeah,
wonder if there's
everybody has a different. I think everybody has a different palate because in Europe we eat not spicy at all. We eat mostly bitter, and the cheeses and the wines and the beers, and it's all bitter tasting, right? And the sausages, but yeah, the spicy stuff. It's usually southern Spain and Italy, and then you turn to a little bit more spicy food, especially tapas, which is Spanish, right? It's more spicy, and and they all have brown hair.
Yeah, it's interesting. The second thing is
Yeah.
I noticed that the Thai food, it's often, I think it has sugar and spiciness in it, in the
But it
dishes.
has everything. So it has 5 kinds of sugar, 2 kinds of spices, and then 2 kinds of salt. So it's normal salt and MSG, and then have the fresh chili and the dried chili, and then palm sugar, brown sugar, white sugar, syrup, and then
Oh,
something else. Yeah, it's crazy. And then of course all the elders, the leaves, and and the best Thai dishes, you can't eat half of it. Half of the ingredients are just for flavoring, and then you really have to go fishing for the pieces of chicken, and they put whole pieces of pepper in there, like the whole fucking branch. It tastes great, but it's always an adventure, or a Russian roulette to see if you're going to get food poisoning.
now, we'll go back to bodybuilding in a second. I just have one last question. Does your wife
Sure.
eat Thai food at home or does she eat with you? What do you guys eat
I
together?
got I got her off it.
You really?
I westernized her. No, no. She liked to eat Thai food, but when I met her, she was already eating like bro food, because she was into fitness. So she was already cooking her own meals and making the chicken and the rice and the sweet potato and that kind of stuff. And in the beginning, she didn't eat pizza. She didn't like sushi. So I said, okay, let's have to educate her a little bit on that sense. And I was already eating Thai food, so I was already educated enough to eat spicy. But then we started going out. Yeah, and now she eats Western food. It's
Now,
great.
my curiosity is, who's the cook in the house? Is it you or your wife?
Me.
I thought so. Yeah.
Me. Yeah. So I usually in the weekend I cook open sandwiches. So it's very basic. It's just bread, cheese, bacon, or ham. Cooked ham, and then eggs, and then some ketchup, some vegetables. It's very basic. And that's what we eat every weekend. It's great, man. It's but the other cooking, it's just bodybuilding food. It doesn't look appetizing,
So has she been? Sorry, one more question. Has she been with
Sure.
you to Holland before?
Yeah, we've been to Holland 2 or 3 times. We've been to Dubai man, I can't even remember, 2 or 3 times. We've been all over Asia together. She's been to the States actually for training, and she's been to Germany, Switzerland, also all over Asia, other countries that I haven't been to. She's well traveled. Yeah.
How does she like Holland? Like, how does she feel about the culture?
It was hilarious. We went there, and then we went to Amsterdam, and she was looking around, and then out of nowhere she said, "I can't live here." I can out of nowhere. So I can't make any money here. Yeah, because she's a personal trainer, right? And she her rates are pretty high, so she caters mostly to the Thais that are well off, the business people. And she was looking around Holland, and she's like, "There's no customers for me here."
Yeah.
Just through observation, and she's very, very right, because Dutch people are not rich.
Well, actually,
some of them are, but they don't care about fitness. They only care about wines and cigars, which is fine. But there's no market for personal training here. In fitness in Thailand is very, very popular. So all the very rich business people, they all got a personal trainer, which is a wide variety of competition trophies, or a very good standing social media wise, basically. So that's the first thing she notices. I can't live here. It's fun. I like zoos and the parks and the pancakes. I also think, she said, we're walking through Amsterdam. She's like, "What's that smell?" I said, baby, that's weed. She said, "That's weed?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "And now I don't want to try it anymore."
You bring up 2 interesting things. First of all, doesn't Thailand have a lot of marijuana also?
Yeah, it's legal now for last year or two. So medicinal marijuana is legal, and it's being sold. They got CBD websites, and I know people that are starting to smoke now publicly, so I've seen it too. And it's hilarious to see, because, it was part of my younger years, right? You see people smoke weed and you don't think much of it. And I tried weed many, many times, but it's mostly peer pressure, and I didn't really enjoy the feeling of, this semi psychotic state that you're in. You're not psychotic, but, it does work on the brain a little bit. So I didn't enjoy that state. So, and now I see people smoke weed here and then post about it publicly, and it's just hilarious, but it's totally uninteresting for me.
You know what? The interesting thing is, a lot of the sativa strains of marijuana actually came from around Thailand. They were sourced and grown up.
Kratom. That's all from here in Malaysia, and kratom is still highly illegal, but people talk about it all publicly also. It's very illegal, and then at one point the methamphetamines might get approved, and then Thailand will be the same as Holland.
Well, the methamphetamine is approved in Holland?
No, but in Holland it's like Schedule 2, right, or Schedule 3. But let's say you go to a party, you got cocaine or amphetamines or MDMA with you, they'll just take it and they'll fine you $50 per gram. It's not even worth the paperwork. But in other countries, like in Thailand right now, if you're caught with amphetamines, they'll throw you in jail.
Well, they should, because that's what's been really affecting Philippines, right? According to my Filipino friends, it's the amphetamines. That's what the current president has been really going against, because it's been affecting the society a lot. Now, one last thing about what you mentioned. You mentioned the high net worth individuals in Thailand that are the clients of your wife. One interesting thing I was going to ask you about was, because I have when I was younger, I was very into tattooing. I got a lot of tattoos when I was younger, and I used to collect tattoos from different people in the world. One of my tattoo artists, his name is Mr. Cartoon. He's a very well-known person in California. He tattooed a lot of celebrities, Eminem, and 50 Cent's back piece. The 5-0. I don't know if you've seen that. That's him. The Lakers sign of the basketball team. That's him also.
I don't really follow the celebrities.
Yeah. Me neither. But just for tattooing, I know about it. But anyway, he's a very well-known guy. And actually, when I was talking to him, he said a lot of his clients are from Thailand, and they come from Thailand. And actually, they flew him into Thailand also. And he told me, "You've never seen, Leo, the kind of people. They are so wealthy, and they are." Very, very wealthy, profoundly so, and they're young, sort of playboy type of guys. I guess they inherited maybe the money.
Second or third generation. There's a hidden joke here. They say the first generation makes it, the second generation maintains it, and the third generation spends it.
Oh, this is true. This is true across these families around the world. Right. You see a lot of people like that in Thailand, high rollers, stuff like that.
It's so much, man. It's unbelievable.
And do you know where their money comes from? Is it like construction?
Family. You know, I know one person here that just helps with the family business, and they make tin cans.
Oh, interesting.
They make all the tin cans, or the majority of the tin cans in Thailand.
Wow.
And they're multi-billionaires in Kuwaiti dollars.
Wow, Kuwaiti dollars. That's
I have to mention Kuwaiti dollars because it's the highest currency in the world, right? So if I say a billion Thai baht, it's a couple $100 million US, but it's billions of dollars in Kuwaiti dollars. So imagine how many Thai baht that is. It's unbelievable. And they show up with a Porsche and a Ferrari and whatever, Mercedes gazillion series. They all have it, and it's all imported. And they're all 400% taxed, and they just spend the money, man. And it doesn't mean anything to them. I've never seen so many rich people in my life as in Thailand.
Really? And do they tax the cars there when they import?
Yeah, import taxes are very, very high, especially on the supercars. So a Ferrari would be 400% here. Like a Mercedes is a very high valued car here because of the taxes. But in Holland and Germany, everybody drives around in those things, right? The BMW is not very expensive. So I have a couple Germans in the gym. They all got BMWs and Mercedes back home. And they talk with the Thai guys. Oh, that's a nice car. Yeah, I spent $30,000 on it. And here they spend 150.
You know what other countries like that? Iran. I've been to Iran there, and I was surprised because they're very wealthy, but their cars they don't have expensive cars, and it's because they have this crazy tax on the importation, which sort of makes sense because I don't know if it makes sense, but basically, you're pushing out money from one country into another country, and it's a luxury good. So if somebody can afford it, it's a good way.
So they triple the fee, and then most of the money stays in the country, right?